Hello, welcome to this session. So here we are going to learn about the national income or national output. So every time, okay, every time a country is producing something and you're talking about the superpower nations or developing or developed or underdeveloped, how do you term a country as developing? Why do you say a country is poor or why do you say a country is rich? It is based on their output capability. If a country is able to produce a lot, okay, so their output is humongous, so they are termed as a very upward or rich country, and a country which doesn't have that production capability is construed as a very poor country. So here when we discuss this national income or national output, okay, this discussion becomes very important. What is the production capability of a country? So the production capability of a country is determined by its fertility of soil and the capability of the human resources in the country, and how much the infrastructure has been built by the government and the private sector, and how stable is the political environment of a country, and how safe the country is, and how cordial is a country with its neighbors, and do they have a very consistent or a very stable or how do you call a good business environment where the ease of doing business is great. Everything, when it is all factored in together, you get something called as a national output or national income. So this national income is an indicator showing the capability of a country. For example, we have two terms called as domestic income or domestic output and national output. Do you know what is the difference between these two? When they call this as national income and domestic income, okay? National income and domestic income. What do you mean by domestic income? I'll give you a perfect example to understand what is a domestic income and what is a national income. See, first of all, domestic income is something that is related to the geography. For example, take India, okay? Whatever is produced within the geographical area of India, whatever is produced, let it be Apple iPhones, let it be Pepsi, let it be Cola, let it be the Tata services, okay, let it be anything that is produced inside India, whether it is a foreign product, whether it is the foreign product or Indian product, we don't mind. We just want to know what Indians are capable of. Indians are capable of assembling Apple iPhones. Indians are capable of producing cola. Indians are capable of consuming Coca-Cola. Indians are capable of doing what? India is capable of doing what? Okay, that is the measurement called as domestic output. So when we discuss the term called as domestic output, it all pertains to the geography. Whatever is produced inside India, whether it is produced by Indians or it is produced by non-Indians, that is all, that doesn't matter. Where is it produced? Is it produced in India? Is the geographical location of production, is it India? Yes, then it comes under domestic income. So this is domestic income. Then what do you mean by national income? No, definitely Apple iPhone assembling units, or when we call about the Pepsi, Cola, all of these companies are going to take a profit out of our country. And those incomes, no, that belongs to not India, it belongs to a foreign country. So at the end of the year, what we do is, from the domestic income, we take out all the incomes earned by foreign country. Okay, so the factor incomes that belong to foreign country is being reduced from the domestic income we did. And we are adding whatever Tata produced in USA, and as a result it is bringing the profit into India. So now the Indian companies, what they did in USA, and they are now bringing it to India. So now what happens? Domestic income plus US income earned in India. Okay, this should be subtracted, and what should be added? Indian income earned in USA. If these adjustments are made, whatever we end up with is called as national income. I'm sorry. So domestic income and the national income, okay, these two measurements are equally important. Why domestic income is important? Because you need to know what is the productive capability of Indians. You need to know what this Indian geography as a location can do. So here we can produce multiple units and multiple goods and services. Even though it is not owned by India, so what? It clearly tells that Indians has the capacity to be involved in the production of services, to be involved in the production of Apple iPhones, to be involved in the production of many other goods and services. So the capability of Indians and India is being expressed in terms of domestic income. And then the net factor income from abroad, if it is added, you end up with national income. What is this? Net factor income from abroad. Those income which is earned in India. For example, a person might have worked from Japan, he might have worked in India and he might have earned some salary. And Apple iPhone company, no, that company might earn some profit in India, but that belongs to USA. So all the factor incomes earned by foreigners in India will be negated, minus factor income earned, okay, from India towards foreign countries. And you have to add factor income earned by India from foreign countries. And that is why simply I put minus Apple plus Tata. You end up with national product or national output or national income. So this Tata income is not the income that Tata makes in India. This is Tata income from USA. And Apple's income from India. If it is done, we end up with the national product, okay, or the national output or national income, which entirely belongs to India. Domestic income minus Apple's income from India plus Tata's income from USA. If you do this, you end up with the national product. So the measurement of both domestic and national is very important, because domestic expresses the capability of a country and national income represents, at the end of the day, what country is left with, what is the real retaining capacity of the country. If domestic income is smaller than the national income, then it means that country's population has gone abroad. Country's population has gone to many different foreign countries and they're doing business in foreign countries and they're remitting a lot of money to India. Do you understand? For example, if domestic income is 500 and Apple's earning from India is 100 and Tata's earning from USA is 500, what happens to the national output? National output here is 500 minus 100 plus 500, which is 900. So here national income is greater than the domestic income, which is 500, which means a country is producing a lot in other countries also. But when domestic income is 500, imagine for a country like India, domestic income would be 500 and Apple's income from India would be around 300 and Tata's income from USA will be 100. And what will happen? 500 minus 300 plus 100, we end up with national. So domestic is heavy but national is small would mean we are a developing country. Domestic is small but national is heavy would mean we are a developed country. So both the measurements are equally important for us to understand what is meant by the capability of a country and what is meant by the real retaining capacity of a country. So both domestic income and national income are equally important for us to understand the nature of our country. Thank you so much. Do subscribe.